Welcome back. Today marks the 79th birthday, my 79th birthday. And I want to, you know, to compose a kind of a heartfelt letter to my loved one, my friend, reflecting on key moments of my life. I want to outline significant, the most relevant events from the past years of my life and try to highlight achievement and some lesson learned. So this is the reason why I'm recording this video and sharing a piece of my story. I have to say that today marks an important milestone for my life, not only for, my age, 79 years, but also because I'm becoming the oldest member of my family, my whole family, the entire family. Even my great grandmother or my great grandfather. I was born in South Italy and I had a tough childhood because we had devastating loss in our family. The first one was my mother, who died at the age of 30, and she left three children. My brother, who was six, my sister, 6 months, and me, and I, 4.5. My father was working as a simple nurse at a sanatorium who belonged to Italian National Security Institute. I remember every week we used to go to the cemetery to put a bunch of flowers on my mother's grave. And I have to, also say that another unbearable tragedy happened to our family. The passing of my beloved father. He was just 49 years. When I finished my high school, I won a scholarship in Naples and I had a chance to attend a couple of years course, specialization course. At the end, I got my workshop engineer diploma. I decided to move to Milan to try to find a job. So with 90,000 lira in my wallet, I packed my suitcase and I took a train to Milan. When I arrived at Milano Central Railway Station, I found myself desperately alone. I was about to cry. I didn't know what to do, where to go. At the end of the platform, I met a tall man who probably guessed that I was looking for an accommodation. So he suggested to take me to a private home not far away from the station in Lazaretto Street. We reached the second floor, an elderly woman apartment, and she offered me to rent a room for 2,500 lira per day. It was a huge amount, I had to pay every day. I was lucky because at the very beginning, my father, former captain of the Alpini Army, helped me to find a job in a small company in the electrical business. My duty was, to draw electrical system with a special pen called rapidograph. My salary was 70,000 lira per month. I was very lucky because, in that period, Alfa Romeo was hiring people. And I had a chance to go for an interview. At the end, they decided to hire me. And my salary at the very beginning was 100,000 lira. And I started to work for the mechanical processing method department. But after a few years, I decided to attend a COBOL programmer course. At the end, I went to work for the information technology department. I had a chance to work on I was involved in an important project who was supposed to control and manage the production process. The name of this project was Alcione, which means Assembly Line Control Information Operation Network. It was an unforgettable experience. My managing director, I want to mention his name. He was engineer Eugene Alachevich. Gave me a chance, to go to work in the software development department as a head office. In 1977, I married a wonderful woman, and we started to travel a lot. Our first trip was a fabulous one. We went to Cuba on December 1980, and we had a chance to attend a rally in Revolution Square with Fidel Castro. It was an incredible experience. We've been 5 times in the United States, the first one in 1982, to pay visits to our beloved aunt and uncle, and also their 4 children. They migrated to the United States in 1963. We've been in so many countries, just to mention a few of them: Sri Lanka, Maldives, Santo Domingo, Saint Martin, Antigua, Jamaica, Bahamas, Grand Cayman Islands, and so many others. In 1986, I resigned from Alfa Romeo, and I was hired by a small software house company. And, I worked on a big project, material handling system project for the Italian railway company. I traveled a lot. I worked so hard. At the age of 42, I was promoted to manager. In 1992, I resigned and went to work for another company with its headquarters in Turin. After 7 years, I had the last chance, the last opportunity for my professional career, and I went to work for Deloitte Consulting, one of the big five big company in the consultant firm. I had opportunity to work with colleagues coming from all over the world on different IT projects, like SAP package, CRM. It was an extraordinary experience of my professional career. I will never forget. I retired in 2003, and since then, I have been sharing my passion, my love for the English language, for more than 70 years at Unitre School in Milan, and in the last 5 years at Accademia Senza Frontiere at Pime in Milan. In order to, to cut this story short, I just want to summarize and say that my life has been filled with painful sorrow, but also great memories and important achievement. And, there are also so many lessons learned that I can mention. The first one, my childhood gave me the strength to cope with difficulty, to overcome obstacles. I've learned from the very beginning that, if you have an idea and you consider that it's worthwhile to pursue this idea, you'd better, do not accept any compromise, even in needs. I've learned that if you want to achieve something in your life, you have to make sacrifice, because there is nothing for granted you can take for granted, and you have to struggle to make sacrifice and not to give up. Because life doesn't always go according to your plans, and we have to cope with disappointment, setbacks, difficulties. So we need to be resilient, to be consistent in order to overcome the obstacles that we may encounter in our ordinary life. Another important thing that I have learned is to appreciate what I have right now. I have learned to recognize and value my accomplishment that gave me a real sense of gratitude, particularly to my beloved father, who made a lot of sacrifice, in order to give me the opportunity to study. I remember an important quotation that I have learned. We don't always get what we want, but we need to think for a while and think that there are people who will never have what we have. So we have to consider ourselves blessed. Another thing that I have learned is related to friendship. If you value friendship above something else, you should be careful, because it may happen that friendship relationship may have a fluid boundaries, so over time it can become genuinely deeper or can retract and dissolve. And I have experiencing something like that. I've also learned that it's worthwhile to try to be more generous, to be more kind, more forgiving, more cheerful, even if it's very difficult to do that nowadays. Another important reflection that I can share is that, it's real. It's true that life expectation has increased. Nevertheless, we have to face some health problem or many health problems. So we should do what we like to do today, trying not to procrastinate, to postpone. So, because we don't know what can happen. Time is running so fast, so we have to catch and live every moment of our life. In conclusion, I can say that I'm so proud of myself. Thank you so much for watching.